Hey there everyone, this is Jeff Perkins with JD Cutlery doing another quick review on some of the stock that I've gotten ready for the holiday season. All of these have already been posted on the website. We will be upgrading the pictures on a number of them fairly quickly. Very happy with the overall stock level that we have right now. Probably right around 52 knives in stock. All of them are anodized and have various different types of modifications on them. So we'll go ahead and run through these real quick. I do have a number of ZT0095BWs, some ZT0808s, ZT0900s, and ZT0562CFs. So we'll just kind of run through these one at a time. Well, let's see, we'll go ahead and start. Some of these out of the way. Okay, so the first one we'll start with is this little 900. It is done in a nice teal blue. It's got a natural drizzle and a purple drizzle to it. So we kind of double drizzled it. As you can see, we've acid stone washed the pocket clip, the pivot, and the blade. And let's see if we can get some nice shine on that blade. This blade has been sharpened on the wicked edge, so it does have that mirror edge to it. So it really gives it a nice nice look when you put that mirror edge on those acid stone wash blades. They turn out looking great. These little knives are little tanks. I love this model. Whenever I carry a small knife, this is a small, actually a big knife in a small package. I really like these. Lockup on this one's right about 50%. And centering is right on the money there. So we're pretty good there. Good action on all of these 900s. Really happy with them. This one, we went with a nice green background with bronze. Gives it kind of a camouflage effect. Got a little bit of oil over here by the pivot. That's not a big deal. Did brush the pocket clip on this one. Again, action on these little 900s is just great. The detent seems to be just about perfect on every one of these that comes in. Once it lets go, it just fires and locks right up. This one we're probably looking about 35% lockup. And just about perfectly centered. Just a tad bit off on that one. I can adjust that. Not a big deal before it goes out. Again, big knife in a little package. Really dig these. This one we went with a nice purple green or purple blue green fade on it. It's a little brighter in person. The purple's brighter and the green is quite a bit more apparent in person. I'm doing one of these for one of my best customers right now. It is actually being sharpened tonight, so I got to get that sharpened up and it'll be sent back to him. We brushed the pocket clip. It's not this actual knife, but the knife that I did for him is pretty much the same pattern. I really like the way his turned out. He wanted it that way, and I figured, you know what, that's a color pattern that's going to sell. So we did one up for our stock. Centering's pretty good. Lockup is right about 40%. So the 900s that are in stock are pretty sharp looking. I did a couple of the 808s, version that's been out for quite a while. This one is a high voltage blue faded to the green, and it's been stone washed and anodized bronze. Backspacer's bronze. I also went ahead and heat anodized the pocket clip and all the screws and pivot on this one. Very cool looking knife in person. Colors are more vibrant in person. Action's very nice. Good quality little knives. I've always liked the way these looked. It's got a good working blade. Lockup is probably about 45%. And centering is pretty darn good on that as well. Action's nice. I like that bronze stone wash on that. Gives it kind of a rough and tumble look. Very happy with the way that one turned out. This is another of the tie-dye effect that I've done. I really look at these and think tie-dye. So we've got a super bright green going into teal, into blue, into purple. And we've got a nice bronze drizzle going through it. Backspacer's bronze on that. Brushed pocket clip. I did leave the hardware, the regular silver on this. Again, action's nice and smooth. This is the littlest flipper tab that ZT has, but this one is crazy smooth. We're looking about 30% lockup on that one. And centering is pretty good as well. Sorry, twisted that. I was looking at the knife and not the camera. But I really like this tie-dye look. It's definitely what I'm calling it. Not necessarily a tie-dye in reality, of course. But it just reminds me so much of tie-dye that that's what I'm calling it. Really happy with this one. This one doesn't sell. It might very well be a Christmas present for myself. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the 562CFs. We went with a high voltage purple into a high voltage blue, brushed the pocket clip, buffed the hardware on the titanium side, left the hardware on this side black. Action on all of these 562s is very, very smooth. Lockups are at about 45%. Pretty darn close to center right there. Just a nice fade. I definitely like the pocket clips on these brushed and the hardware done up. Ever since my best customer had put that request in on one of his knives, there are certain knives that I just have to do that on every time, and the 562 is one of those. Again, buffed hardware, brushed pocket clip. This one's got a nice bright yellow into purple, into blue. There's a little bit of oil around that pivot. Action's real nice. Hardware on the carbon fiber side still black. About 45% on the lockup on that. And pretty nicely centered. Really happy with the way some of these fades have turned out. Nice and bright. People seem to really like them. Selling quite a few of those here lately. I've got another one with a high voltage purple. It is a brighter purple in person and a nice gold drizzle. Again, did the treatment on the hardware. Black on that side. Action is just great. These guys fit in your hand so nicely. I really like that purple gold finish, kind of a Lakers type color pattern. So, very nice. Lockup, 40-45%, somewhere in there. And pretty good and centered there. So, looking good on these. Last one is a green one. This one's a nice green. It does get a little bit of variation of a little yellower green right here, but everything else is pretty much the same color. Got a little bit of oil there. It's just a tad bit of variation in the color there, not anything that I get worried about or anything like that. Brushed pocket clip again. Action's right on the money. Lockup on that one is probably about 40%. And again, pretty much right where all of these 562s are at. I did a number of the ZT0095BWs. These are cool looking knives. I am pretty happy with the way these are turning out. Looks like they've changed the pattern up a little bit, as you can see. The original ones were smooth on all the bevels. The new ones now have some lines kind of machined into them, so it gives it a little bit different feel as it's in your hand. Other than that, there's really no difference between the two, the new versus the older. Detent's good on all of these. A couple of the first ones I had some killer detents. You just need to make sure that you're going with a light switch action. If you push straight down on this, it's not going anywhere. It's got to be a light switch. So that is the one thing that I've got to tell everybody when they get these. Push straight down, you'll be very unhappy. Light switch works perfect. This is a nice gold. You're probably about 70% of the black wash still left on it. I really like leaving part of that black wash on these. Gives it a little bit of a rough feel to it, or look to it. And I love that black wash finish. I carried a 560 in the black wash for over a year. You couldn't tell that that knife had been used, and it had been used hard. So their black wash finish is really nice. I like this gold one, kind of pops out. Wasn't originally planning on gold, but once the color hit, I stopped my anodizing, and we just kind of left it there because I really did like the way it ended up looking. Got a nice deep purple going into a nice blue. The purple is more vibrant in person. Again, you've got about 70 to 80% of your black wash still there, but you got a nice purple to blue fade. Oop, I kind of caught that one on my finger. Again, actions on these are all really good, nice and smooth. Detents are real good. That one's centered up pretty good. And lockup, or shoot, yeah, there we go. Lockup is right about 40% on it. I like that fade. These are interesting when you anodize them. You do the anodizing, you pull it out of the solution, and the black is still on it. So you rub it with your thumb and your fingers, and most of that black, or a lot of that black, comes off, and the color is actually underneath the black. So if anybody's worried about buying one of these and having the black wear off and there not being color there, that's not the case. The color is actually underneath the black. These are very tough to anodize. That's probably why you don't see a whole lot of them out there being anodized. But if you can get your process down, they turn out pretty nice. So we got a nice green going into a blue, into a brighter purple. Again, purple's not showing up as nice as it truly is. Very nice looking knife. That one looks like I'm going to have to adjust the blade a little bit on. The action is real good on that, and lockup is right about 30%. So nice fade, purple, blue into green. And then, of course, I sell a lot of these in the nice blue. This is a nice high voltage blue. It's got hints of purple in it. Really nice looking. These are good looking knives with a little bit of that black wash left. Lockup on that one's about 30%. And centering's pretty good on that one. So again, light switch. Do not push straight down. Good knives. I like the feel of these in the hand. They're nice and slim for as big a knife as that is. Well, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, these are all posted at www.jdcutlery.com. Please log on, check them out, see what you're interested in. Like I said, I'll be upgrading some of the pictures, but pretty much everything is posted right now. I did hold a couple back, so if anybody is looking for anything specifically done, I've got a couple 450s, 562CFs. I think I've got another 452CF. So I kept a couple back just in case people had requests on something they'd like to see. Well, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.